Hey Nicole, you sent the PDF, which is just fine. I'm going to try to open it up in Illustrator to make some corrections on it, but your text is probably not going to show up the way you have it, just so you know. I'll have to do something else to it. First off, your ad needs to be, I believe it's 6 inches wide or maybe 5.5 inches wide. So you've got a nice vertical image, but you're really going to have to play with the size a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and try to open this up in Illustrator. I've got it open, but see, it took away your text, so it's going to be a little tricky to fool with. Okay, so I think I had gone ahead and yeah, it's just going to be difficult to deal with your text when I'm trying to show you an example. But we'll do the best we can. Yep. Okay, sometimes it works really well to open a PDF, and sometimes it just is not. Okay. So what I've done is made your photo a little bit more like 5.5 inches wide right here. And you can keep that centered. I don't know that it's as interesting when something's running down the dead center of the ad, but I'm going to leave that up to you. If it were me, I would probably find a different image, but you've already spent a lot of time on this one, so I don't know if you feel like doing that. You can just continue with what you've got. Where you had North Carolina, basically all of your text, let's go back to yours, all of your text is all about the same, and you've got something in each of the 4 corners, so your eye really doesn't know where to look. Of course, it looks immediately to the big American flag in the dead center of the ad, but other than that, you really don't know where to go with it. So I'm going to help you find better placement for some of the text, just to create a little bit more priority in your ad. Okay, but of course it's a little harder the way that it's handling this text, so we'll do the best we can. Now, this is not a logo, I just drew a box and the NC, but you really do need to have some sort of logo. I'm just going to place this down here. That's where most logos are going to be found, and you really need to design this. So it might just be written a certain way. It could be, you know, a beach-related logo. I'm just going to leave that there for you to work on. But instead of having it up here competing with the flag, let's go ahead and move it on out of the way. Okay, next, all this contact information. It's got a lot of space around it, and it's getting a little hard to read. When you have a script that small, it's really difficult to read, so I'd go ahead and change some of that out. Let me see if I can grab some of that text and work on it. Okay, it is not liking me right now. This is what happens in a PDF when you try to extract the information. So I have to kind of get rid of all these weird invisible layers that exist. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's that mesh gradient or gradient that you used, it's got all these layers and it's just not letting me do it all at once. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now I can grab some of this text here. It's not going to be all of it. In fact, it's just a bunch of random letters, it looks like. That's enough that I can show you what I mean. Alright, that's just gonna... I'm sorry, this is frustrating. It's really not gonna let me grab any of this text. So I'm just gonna have to retype some stuff. So bear with me for a second. I want to clean it all off so I can work. Okay. Alright, so let me just retype some information. You really only need a web address. Something like that. And a phone number. Do something like that, or whatever. Okay, let's just get some text in there. You had, let me look at your original. Okay, you had a contact name, phone number, address. You can have all of those things on there. I just would stick with a sans serif, very easy to read font. Okay, that would be the whole point I'm getting at with that information. And instead of so much space between them, let's go ahead and you can just make it all, one very compact box here at the bottom of your ad. And of course, I think it would work better in white, just for the contrast. Okay, so that, can find the contact information down here, your logo down there. And, all right, so you've got this the paragraph of text you want. And let's work on that some now. Alright. Is there anything I'm missing? Okay, play a tours. Okay, so we need to actually put the name of the tours in there somewhere. And you have it here, so I don't know that you need to say it twice. If it were my ad, I would probably actually, I just wouldn't have the image centered. So let's assume it's not centered. Sorry, I'm a little slow this morning. I tried to start these last night and that just didn't happen with kids, so doing it very early and I'm tired. Okay. Alright, so I would just move it a little off center. So it's not just cutting down the center of your ad. You might want to adjust this, and I'm not going to do it right this second, but you would want to adjust this in Photoshop so that it was perfectly vertical, because it's a little odd when your flag isn't quite straight. Alright, so by taking this off to the side, it changes your focus a little bit, and it gives you more space to work with. So now we could go ahead and fill in text. And people will pay more attention to it. I'm going to use escape. That's just a great descriptive word. I'm going to let that be the element that I want to pay attention to. And I'm going to change this to a lighter font. Very light, very airy, like you're really escaping. Because you have all this white space, you can do some really cool things with typography. For example, we can pull out lots of fun keywords. finish. You know, these are all just great descriptive words for North Carolina. Make these a little smaller so they fit. When you don't have a fantastic image, then your ad design can really become very typographic, letting the typography kind of be the imagery. When you actually take a typography class, or maybe you are in one now, you'll get lots more opportunities to use this method. Okay, and this information, this to me is just very, it's not really part of the description, it's more informational rather than creating a mood. So I'm just going to bring it down and just, you know, give it its own presence, but not as part of the look that we're trying to create. And I'm going to adjust the baseline on these words, bringing them down some individually. They're getting in the way up there. And, you know, we don't want seafood to be broken in half, so let me find a way to make that fixed. Okay, so this isn't perfect. And you'll get the opportunity to just play with your text a little bit more. But I just wanted to show you a way to have interesting words on top of a photograph that, you know, isn't the most interesting image. You can still do something cool with your words and turn this into a really nice piece. So, you know, you might want to, you can leave your words the way you have them, using the exact language. You've got a flag there, so you could end up using, instead of escape, you could throw in the word freedom in there somewhere, just to help tie it in to your image. I think something like this is going to be a good rework of your ad, just taking it to the next level. Thanks, Nicole.